こいつも毒にやられてるな。美しい宝石のような青い瞳に復讐させてやる。この子をもらおう。この子は俺だ。深く憎んでる相手を殺した時。
Redo of Healer is a controversial anime series that explores themes of revenge, redemption, and plenty of borderline hentai scenes. The story follows the protagonist, Kearu, who was once a hero in a fantasy world. However, he was betrayed by his own comrades and suffered unspeakable atrocities at the hands of his enemies. Seeking revenge, Kearu uses his unique healing powers to reset his own timeline and start over, determined to rewrite his fate and get revenge on those who wronged him. Now, let's jump right into the recap of Redo of Healer. A young man named Kearu hears a voice inside his head, guiding him towards the Star Spirit. This spirit grants him the Halcyon Eye power, which allows him to see all creation. Although he was once a healing magician, Kearu's power forced him to bear witness to the memories of those he healed. He was captured and subjected to torture, forced to heal his captors in battle. However, Kearu secretly grew stronger by absorbing the experiences of his abusers and learned to use healing magic in unconventional ways. Eventually, he managed to escape and defeated a powerful demon lord using her Philosopher's Stone to heal the world 4 years into the past. With his memories restored, Kearu vows to exact revenge on his main abuser, Princess Flare of Gioral Kingdom. Despite Flare having no recollection of her past actions, she senses Kearu's awakening and promptly declares him the recovery hero. Kearu resorts to having sex with the many maids in the royal household, stealing their experiences to bolster his power, but he also shows compassion, regenerating the amputated arm of the grateful swordswoman, Kureha, before pretending to pass out. However, Flare's true nature is revealed when she orders the court magician to gain control of Kearu, no matter how torturous the method. Confirming that Flare is still as cruel as she was in the past, Kearu begins meticulously planning his revenge. He uses a variety of transition words to emphasize the steps he takes, such as firstly, next, and finally. As he devises his plan, he considers every detail, never losing sight of his ultimate goal. Kearu will stop at nothing to make Flare pay for her past sins. Pretending to be afraid of absorbing painful memories, Kearu makes a solemn promise never to heal anyone again. Despite the dangers, he goes along with Flare's plan to imprison and get him addicted to drugs, even allowing himself to be raped to further deceive her. Little did she know that Kearu had a hidden agenda up his sleeve. As Flare begins to force Kearu to heal injured heroes, he secretly steals their magical abilities. With his newly acquired powers, Kearu makes a daring escape and disguises himself as Leonard, Flare's trusted Imperial commander. Once alone with Flare, Kearu cunningly heals away her abilities to use magic, leaving her defenseless. To ensure that Flare is completely powerless, Kearu repeatedly breaks and heals her fingers before committing a heinous act. He rapes her before healing her in order to alter her appearance and memories. As part of his twisted plan, Kearu then goes on to heal a dead bodyguard's face to look like Flare, before framing Leonard and escaping with the real Flare. With his mission far from over, Kearu decides to target his other abusers, Bullied and Blade, before embarking on a quest to find the truth about the demon lord he previously defeated. His determination and desire to uncover the truth lead him on a perilous journey filled with twists and turns. As Flare wakes up with no recollection of her past, Kearu takes it upon himself to rename her Freya, and convinces her that she is his loyal servant and lover. He changes his face and takes on the hero named Keyarga, the healer, leaving his weak named Kearu behind. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. What is the scariest anime you've watched? Comment down below to have a chance to be shouted out. Now, back to the recap. Keyarga knows that he and Freya cannot stay in the city any longer. Therefore, he decides that they must leave immediately. However, his plans are complicated when he discovers that Norn, Flair's younger, smarter, and more sadistic sister, is on her way back to the city. Kayarga is determined to avoid her at all costs. As he falls asleep, Kayarga's mind is plagued with a nightmare from his past life. Every night, Flair would force him to pleasure her. To make matters worse, Bullied, the sword heroine, would beat him for touching Flair before sexually assaulting him herself. Even Bullet, the gun hero, would violently rape him and claim to love him before choking him unconscious. It was a cycle of abuse that seemed never-ending. Despite the trauma of his past, Kayarga and Freya managed to make it to La Narita, a lawless city known for its criminal activity. Upon arriving, Kayarga uses his halcyon eye to detect that the town's water is contaminated and is making people sick. Using his immunity to poisons, Kayarga creates a cure from his own blood and sells it to a local merchant. He promises to continue making the cure in exchange for half the profits. In his travels through the city, Kayarga comes across a slave trader and purchases a female ice wolf demi-human. Despite her infection, the wolf is still conscious and filled with rage. Kayarga is intrigued by her and wonders what she will do when she gets her revenge against whoever she hates so much. What beautiful maidens will our devious healer ensnare next? Find out on our next recap of Redo of Healer.